me. All right, it says we're recording, so I guess it's probably not lying. We're here with the Bentons. TD and Brian. White Collar Sideshow. And Kevin. What's up, guys?
How are y'all? Man, it's
Hello.
good to see you guys. It's good to really see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you too, guys.
You always hear my
This is
voice.
my first video.
Yeah, there you go, Kevin. Breaking them in because I get more viewers on YouTube sometimes than listeners, so I figure screw it, we'll do videos.
Might as well.
Cool. Hey, anything?
Well, I was thinking about putting the computer higher so it's a better angle.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, you chat with them again. I'm working on this.
Veronica's got this. You know, this is her forte.
Yeah, we're gonna go find a phone book with all the yellow pages.
All of them. Nuts. Do they still have phone books in the States? I don't see them here.
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
That's wild. I haven't seen them
I
for
think
a
they still
long time.
do. I've seen them around occasionally. I know my folks have one for sure.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, man, I haven't thought about a phone book in so long. That's how we used to book gigs back in the day.
Yeah, just look in the yellow pages or whatever.
Find clubs and man, it almost
Yeah,
seems.
true.
Oh man, she's got something happening, you guys.
She found all the yellow pages.
Boom. Wow. Talk about redneck intuition.
There you go.
Thanks for lighting.
Wow.
Look at that.
Do we look better?
Perfect.
Man, that is how you roll
Yay!
in Arkansas.
Yay.
Better. Oh, we got
There you
Johnny
go.
Patch flipping you off over in the corner.
I love it. That's my favorite picture, Johnny. So that's fine. That's
All right.
good. That's awesome. So you're back. Why did you leave Tennessee again? Just cause?
I mean, home for the holidays. So the original plan was to be there through touring season anyway, and then we were just going to come home for the holidays.
Yeah.
Well, rewind. We were going to do festival season, and then we were like, fall tour is like, that's what we do. And so we were just going to hit it out and go on a good like October, November run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then COVID. So we're like, well, let's just go back for, I had businessy stuff to do, like car tags had to be taken care of, had some like doctor's appointments to do. So like, let's just go home. And I decorated we stayed at our friend Gary's house.
Yeah.
And
we should have Gary pop in.
We should have Gary pop in. But I decorated the whole front with Halloween decor because you were on tour, so I will decorate the RV with Halloween. Like I'll go all out with Halloween decoration. But since we're not touring, I decorated Gary's whole front porch.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
We have is like this little 6-inch black Christmas tree, and that's all we do for Christmas. But Halloween, we gotta go on.
6-inch black Christmas tree, and that's it for Christmas. That's fine.
It's like
nice.
It's awesome. It's got a bell on it, a few lights, and it's black.
It's black. Why not? Why the hell not?
Yeah, no doubt.
So you got the new singles out today.
Today, yeah. I felt bad calling it a new single because obviously it came out from our album last year. So, it's the final song on our concept album. But, I mean, it's new to most people. But for, like, hardcore fans, I didn't want to be like, yeah, we've got new music. But because it's, like, up for them, they're like, what? I've had this for a year. So it was, like, a weird place to be. But, yeah, it's a new radio single anyway.
So, there you go. New radio single. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Definitely.
I saw you guys all decked out in your Razorbacks gear there on the weekend. Go Hogs. Holy crap.
Come on, baby. I know you've been keeping up with the Hogs.
I'm a Crimson Tide fan, folks. I don't know. I don't know if we can talk. I'm a Bama fan, y'all.
How?
How not?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
about? Believe the words that you're saying. Come on over.
But it's okay because you're a Saints fan and so am I. So there you go.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I can do that.
My brother-in-law sent
I'm
his-
assuming y'all are talking about football.
We're talking football, Kevin. Yeah. There you go.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin,
Okay. Cool. I figured as much.
Kevin must be a Razorback fan, by the way that sounded. And you know
Oh,
what? You are now.
You are now.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could be. I mean,
What?
I wouldn't know, but I mean, yeah, sure. We'll dock me in there for sure.
There you go.
The Razorbacks have the best mascot. Man.
That, you know what? I'll give you that.
It's a wild hog.
Yeah, like a real life wild hog.
They do
They
have
do
one
have one.
that comes to the games. His
His
name
name
is
is
Tusk.
No kidding. And they just let him out of the cage.
in unison.
That's awesome.
They
Yeah,
just let him out
Alabama.
of the cage.
Know what they roll tide. I mean,
Do they
look-
have an elephant at their games?
no,
No.
ain't got
No,
no
they
elephant.
don't.
Not a
They'd be a
real
lot
one.
cooler. It'd be a lot
Maybe
cooler if
next
they did.
year.
Arkansas has a real Razorback.
That's, you know, and that's pretty cool to me, man. That's serious.
I think we're on like test 4 or test 5 now, though.
I wonder if they after he's passed away.
They just get a new. They just go catch another one and put him in the pen, and away you go. Oh,
I'm sure it's
man.
probably rotating.
Yeah, 100%.
Kevin, you're not a
Well, that's
football guy.
No, to be honest with you guys, I'm not really like I'm not too big on the too many like big major league sports. I'm kind of like a MMA, mixed martial arts, UFC kind of guy. So
All right. That's hard.
He's a music guy. He's a music guy. Though.
music guy and like martial arts type of guy. We'll say that. We'll say that. But it's like I know enough. Look, a lot of my coworkers are big football fans, so I hear like usually it's just what I hear from people and stuff. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, I feel you, man. Like ESPN is our reality TV, basically.
Yeah, truth. That's where all the UFCs come out of that station now. So
Yeah.
Oh, do they? They don't do the pay-per-view crap anymore, or what?
yeah, it's all on ESPN Plus now or something. But like, yeah, it's you still in Canada have to order through pay-per-view. So
Oh, okay. So you
it's
have to
like
pay-
it's a weird system. And if you're in US, you're like you have to order like ESPN Plus, and if you were outside of the US, you just have to pay basic pay-per-views for each pay-per-view card essentially. So because I think they put their shows on like TSN or something up here in Canada. So.
Oh, okay.
How
That's
cold
crazy.
is it in Canada right now?
It's not bad, dude. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Wait,
Nice.
not bad for you. It's probably very different than not bad for me.
No,
We had a fire outside. We were going to do this call by the fire because it was just going to be audio, right? So we had like a little fire pit going, and it's like 69. And for us, 69 is fire weather.
Yeah, fair enough.
okay. So that's like
Yeah,
What is that,
you're
like
trying to do the conversion too,
18
Joe. I was
degrees,
thinking about it too.
like 18 degrees Celsius. You
Yeah.
said 69. Okay, let's just see.
Um,
It's
That
probably
sounds
like
about right.
You mean Canada goes this way too?
Everybody
no,
does.
we do Celsius.
Yeah, we do Celsius up here.
What's I don't know. It says it's like 15 degrees. That's pretty much the same temperature as you guys right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's like kind of our normal standard autumn weather out here too. So
Yeah.
Man, I was
But
expecting
next month.
crazy.
Wait till next month. If I talk to you in a couple months, I'll be asking you to come up here and dig me out of a friggin' snowbank.
Oh yeah, that's for especially
Hoping for the best. Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
We both know.
Vote no.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's fine. You could play a show all the way here.
Yeah, definitely be. Yeah, true that.
Yeah, we want to.
Jesus, just
When the
nothing-
border
Yeah.
opens back up, we can't even leave the U.S. now.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's going to keep going on for.
How
They
weird.
keep extending it every month. Every month they say nope.
You can't predict it. You can't predict
Yeah,
it.
it's been a pain. No, that's ridiculous. It's been waiting like I think 9 months now since I saw my last live show. So
Has
yeah,
it
it's
been that-
definitely been.
it
definitely
doesn't
been
it feel
brutal.
like 9 months is just like flown by though? If that's the case, March, April, May, June.
Yeah,
July.
just sort of. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
It's like 8 months.
COVID did take summer away.
The last live show I went to was
Tristan?
Baroness.
Oh, that's a nice last
Oh,
live
sweet.
show.
Hey, Gary, who is opening for Baroness? Torch.
That's right.
Nice.
I've heard that name too.
Torch.
Nice.
Then before that, we went and saw Clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Love that band.
Yeah.
Clutch is
Yeah.
awesome.
We saw the Cavalier Conspiracy together.
So good.
Oh, so good. That would have been that's
Cool.
That's a bucket list.
That was my last show. Was Soulfly.
Come on, baby.
Yeah,
I saw Soulfly in
it's like the last one.
96. Yeah.
96. Oh,
Right.
that would have been dope. That would have been. Yeah, that would have been like fresh off after he just left Sepultura.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that would have been that would have been gnarly. I've seen Soulfly a bunch of times too. I love that band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last show I saw was the end of February. It was the Silverstein 20-year anniversary tour, which got cut short. Like I think they weren't even halfway into their tour before they had to cancel everything. So
Yeah.
Wow.
that was my last. That was my last show. So
That's crazy.
Another band that we saw last year, you guys would love, Killing Joke.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like their
definitely.
40th anniversary tour.
I was gonna say, how many anniversaries was this one? 40, eh? Holy
Yeah.
crap!
40.
Don't they get heavier every time they do?
Yeah.
Every album they just get heavier.
Yeah, I don't know how I never heard about this. Like, I literally discovered this project of the Killing Joke, like, I think a couple months back. And I'm like, how did I never know about
They've
this?
been around forever.
I know. And I feel like such a dink. And I'm like, how the hell did how did that get past my radar? What? Like,
I always think through the decades, though, they were still like, even though they gradually got heavier or whatever, they were still unique for the era.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I would say the heavy of the era, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, because they started would have been the 70s.
Yeah.
So they're the heaviest band of the
I think
70s,
so.
heaviest band of the 80s, etc. That's crazy.
Maybe not heaviest of the 80s, but at least for that new wave pop, whatever. Like
Yeah.
they were ahead of the game.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
definitely.
Is that what you guys are gonna do for your next album? Is just go crazy, just crazier?
Huh? I've got a couple songs that I'm working on for a new album, and
Sweet.
it's definitely different than what we did last time.
Nice.
I feel like it's better.
I love him.
Ooh.
He's going back in the studio tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to set up a schedule. That's another reason why we're home. Is of course,
Recording.
big reason is to do pre-production for the new
Nice.
album because the studio that we're doing pre-pro is here,
Awesome.
and so he'll be in there hopefully like once a week at least.
Nice.
Yeah. The new songs.
Yeah. Dope.
it's- I don't know. It's still to me like shock and roll, but I think it's evolving. I feel like we're evolving still, which is great. Like you never want any album to sound exactly the same, right?
That's right.
You just keep learning from what you
No,
did.
for sure.
Get a little better, and
Mhm.
I'm super stoked about. We're working in a studio called 221. It's in Barling, Arkansas.
Mhm.
The engineer is Steele, is his name, and then we'll take all of those songs to Chris Baseford out in LA, who's done our last two albums.
Right
And-
now, Chris did. He was the one that did Rob Zombie and Nickelback and all those guys, right?
Yeah, John Five.
John 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sweet.
yeah, he's done a
That's
few
awesome.
John 5 solo albums, and yeah, man,
He just did Scott Stapp's.
I just mixed. I think.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
nice.
still cool. I was a Creed fan back in the day for sure. That's cool.
Yeah, I was definitely a closet Creed fan. That's for sure. I would always be one like all my friends would joke about him, and I'd be like, "Yeah, man, they totally suck." And then meanwhile, I'd be like hiding them in my playlist somewhere.
That's how it has to be with Nickelback too, is because they like for whatever reason they are the band that everybody makes fun of, but they have sold millions. They've
Oh
got
yeah.
millions, so,
I talk about that. I talk about that a lot on here. It's like you can make fun of Nickelback, but you can't make fun of the money they make. Like it's ridiculous.
No, exactly. Yeah, right. I was gonna say they came right from Alberta, right next to. I used to live where Joey lives in
Yeah.
Regina, so
Yeah,
it's just
right next
it's
door.
crazy to hear them just friggin' blow up. I remember they used to play small little shows at the State back in Regina back in the day, and then nobody was like maybe like 40, 50 people would go see them, and then 2-3 years later they're like the biggest fucking band on the planet. You're like, how did that happen?
Yeah, Chris, so our producer is from Ontario, right?
Yeah, that's where Kevin's at. Kevin's in Ontario.
Yeah. Dope. Yeah, I'm just in London, Ontario.
They all have their Canada connection, like Nickelback, and of course Avril and Chad.
Right.
Married, I guess.
I thought that I think they were. I'm pretty sure. I think they were.
They were married. Yeah, I don't know if they.
I don't think anymore. No.
He worked on some music for Avril too.
Yeah, her recent stuff is so good.
Well, he didn't do any. I don't think any of the Nickelback stuff that was huge. He's done their last 3 albums, I think, and it's their heaviest stuff. Like I was surprised because I only really knew Nickelback from radio,
pop radio.
Yeah,
and then he was like, "Check this out," and I'm like, "Dude, that's Nickelback."
Yeah,
it's like Dimebag is his favorite guitar player.
Pantera is his favorite bands, and Dimebag was his favorite.
And I was like, dude, so. A buddy of mine messaged me the other day and sent me a link to, or maybe it was Veronica, sent me a link to Nickelback doing Devil Went Down to Georgia. Yeah, Devil Went Down to Georgia. Their version, and then Nickelback did it, and it's unbelievably amazing. I was so like, no way, this is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you get an opportunity, search it after the podcast.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Curious to hear that one.
Yeah, Chris. I think Chris worked on that one too. It's killer, man. Just the guitar stuff. It's just killer.
Well, that's just that those, like, whether they're your cup of tea or not, they can play their instruments.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Well, no denying where they are.
Well, that's
just it's amazing.
Yeah. I remember I had Fallon Bowman from Kitty on here a couple times, and she was telling me about the first time that they met Nickelback. They were just a nobody band, and they were playing in Ontario at some music store concert thing or whatever, and Chad Kroger came into their dressing room. He's like, "Oh, hey, I just wanted to say what's up. Like, I'm Chad. I'm from a band called Nickelback." And they're like, "Well, where are you from?" They're like, "Well, we're from Alberta. We heard you guys are from here." Like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then like they joked and said, a couple months we'll see you at the Junos type thing. Like, yeah, right on. And sure enough, they're at the Junos in a couple months after that. Like,
yeah, of course.
Be crazy.
Man, I saw Kitty a couple times back in the old Ozfest days of 98, 99, 2000-ish.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember. I think they got their big break being on Ozfest. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
sure. I think probably 2000 sounds about accurate. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was right in my heyday of music.
everybody got their big break on Ozfest. John from Curtain Call Records was telling me that he worked on the Ozfest the Ozfest tour when Slipknot broke. Huge.
Oh yeah, that was 99. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw. I think they were playing at like noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But there was so much hype back then because their album cover, was it was all of them, but it was blurry. It was their first album, and so you were like, "Are they going to show up like this? Is this what they look like?" And then, the second stage, and then there's thousands of people at second stage, and they come out like, "I want to see your middle fingers in the air," and everybody. From that moment, like you could see their career is just going to be giant.
Oh yeah, I remember the buzz back then in high school too, hearing about this band that wear masks and they beat the shit out of each other when they're playing on stage. Yeah. And I'm like, get out of here! You watch the videos. And
they did, man.
They fucking tore shit up.
Yeah, themselves. They would. Yeah. They destroy themselves on stage.
Yeah, the clown would beat the crap out of the DJ Sid like all the time. It just seemed like I think I remember reading stories about like one of them being knocked out midway during the set, and they pretty much had no memory of the rest of the show. I was just like, fuck.
I think
it's wild.
I think that's why he finally got those long spikes on his helmet.
Just to keep him away.
Yeah.
Like a sea urchin.
Yeah, I saw them.
Oh no, go ahead, Joe.
I saw them once in Saskatoon, and they came through with Killswitch Engage and Unearth. And that was awesome. That was great.
Because I went to the Edmonton show because they hadn't announced Saskatoon yet.
Right.
So we got tickets to Edmonton.
But then later they announced.
And then like 2 weeks later they're playing in Saskatoon. I'm like, well, fuck, we already bought the tickets, so whatever. We're just gonna drive to Edmonton now.
Edmonton's like a 10-hour drive from us, and Saskatoon's a 2-hour drive. So
yeah, it was pretty brutal, especially since the car we took was a 1979 Impala, and the middle of January in fucking prairies. engine blows out on the way back from Edmonton going to Calgary, and midway point the engine blows out. It's like 3 a.m. driving this boat of a car that's pretty much dead on us. Had to bus back to Regina. It was a whole debacle. It was worth it though. We got to see Slipknot though. I got a drumstick. It was cool. Somewhere actually down in my basement. Yeah, I got a drumstick. And I had a broken pair of glasses that went with it because I lost my glasses at the show right as they started. It's just like, oh, it was a good show. A lot of crazy stuff happened. A lot of hijinks. With us having to take the Greyhound back, which is pretty awful.
You got a drumstick, so he uses like those metal drumsticks. Is that what it was? Like
No, it was like just what is it? Oh, I can't remember the brand name was, but yeah, it was just a regular normal drumstick. But it was like, I think it was the Clowns. It was like Sean's fucking drumstick or whatever. So number 6, the percussion dude. So I was just like, oh sweet, I can't believe I caught it.
That's nice.
Back in my early heydays. Yeah, that was definitely an adventure. That's for sure.
I'll never forget that show, man. Like because that was one of my favorite bands of all time. So getting to see them, I was like, holy crap! Like Corey walked on stage and he's just like, looks at everybody that was sitting up in the stands and he's like, well, what are you doing? Get down here.
Oh yeah.
And then like security's like kind of looking around. He's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And so all these people came onto the floor for the general admission, and it was classic. They just filled the floor because they had so much space on the floor.
Yeah,
I don't know why they didn't just make a general admission to begin with, but that was cool. Seeing all these bodies come piling over the hockey boards and shit. It was awesome.
Hey, we played in a hockey rink before in Minnesota.
In Minnesota yet?
That's like festival, Sunshine Fest.
Oh, yeah, we did.
It was a hockey rink.
Yep, I forgot about that.
Oh, nice.
Super acoustics in a hockey rink. Was it tin? Was it all tin? Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Man. Thunder S. Hawk.
That's me, buddy.
That's your album?
That was my rap name. And then I went to change my name back to my real name, but Facebook wanted my driver's license to prove that I was who I said I was changing my name back to. It's like, I'm not giving you my friggin' driver's license. It'll just stay like this, you dummy. It's like, I'm not an idiot. I already know you're spying on my shit.
Yeah,
you're not gonna steal
that's crazy that they
they probably already know.
Yeah, we just
they know who I am.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Social Dilemma yet on Netflix?
I have it on my watch list, ready to go.
I was just gonna say, it was like the same thing. Oh, Joe, it'll blow your mind. It makes you rethink what like social media and all that stuff's about. You're just like, holy shit. Does it
talk negatively about Twitter because I kill shit on Twitter and I'm so good at it?
Sort of. It's mostly.
Damn it.
It's more so just about like I don't want to tell you and spoil the whole fucking thing because that's probably what I'll end up doing if I keep talking about it. It's definitely worth the watch though, for sure.
Okay.
In other words, they already have your driver's license.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Is that the one about the guy that's like he's like petitioning? Come on. I don't know. I think I added it last night to my list because I saw it and I was like, oh, I should probably watch that.
No, I think I know which one you're thinking of. You're thinking of that Jordan Joseph Levitt one.
Yes,
that's the guy. He was the whistleblower.
Oh no, that's
on the
Snowden.
government.
No.
Snowden, yeah.
I saw that.
You're not thinking of, okay.
That was a good one too. Interesting times. That's too bad because all I do is spend time on the internet with. Now that I'm working for Curtain Call, that's all I do. I do this every night. I talk shit all day. They can't steal all of my. Can they steal like the bad parts of my identity and leave the good stuff? You know.
I think it's pretty much everything's a fair game now for them. Now they want your identity, they'll just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've already got it all, you guys. So.
It's like hearing all those old myths about avoiding using Facebook Messenger and all those other things. It's like once you in like the Snapchat, getting your face in a database and stuff, how they can just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's like an
I exclusively do not use Snapchat or TikTok. Pretty much Twitter is my main one. I don't even use Instagram. You know?
Yeah.
We tried TikTok. I gave it the good old college try with his, his cool little drum videos. I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't.
Nobody was interested.
They don't want that stuff. They want you to do a dumb little
Savage
dance.
dance or
Yeah.
Well, your drum videos are friggin' sweet, though. They're awesome.
Truth.
We've got one in the works.
I
I'm still
know.
working on it.
We've been sitting on for a minute.
We need to go film a couple more now that we're in Arkansas and do some from here.
Nice. You could drum on Tusk.
Nice.
Oh man, I would love. Man, that'd be sweet to ride Tusk and drum. Like I could stick to the Paradise video right now of
If you make that,
grabbing Tusk.
you make that happen and get a picture of it, and I will tattoo it on my back. Do the perfect back.
Hold you to that.
Kevin, did you?
Yeah.
This is recording.
Okay.
It's recording. TD
Yeah.
Benton with Tusk. The perfect
Damn.
picture. Riding. You have to be riding Tusk. And twirling the drumsticks. And just like, and I will tattoo that on my whole back. I'm a big fucking guy. It'll be good.
How do we get into the Arkansas Razorback game and ride Tusk? I mean, beyond you getting it tattooed on your back, this could be national news.
Sounds like it to me.
An Alabama fan that gets a picture tattooed on his back of Tusk.
A Canadian Alabama fan.
That'd be hilarious. What's that?
A Canadian.
I feel like that would be no.
Canadian
I feel
out,
like
yes.
that'd be nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
It's hilarious.
you're in the South, Georgia.
Well, I'm in the South in my end of Canada too, so there you go. We're both from the South.
Yeah, I guess now you think about it, South London is pretty south of Ontario, so
There you go. We're all Southerners.
the shoe fits.
Why not?
You gotta throw your cowboy boots on, man.
I don't have cowboy boots, but I've always wanted a nice pair, That'd be real cool to have cowboy boots. Do they make them in size 13?
Whoa, they do.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
I'd assume so.
So I see a lot of size 12s in the thrift stores.
Yeah. Okay.
If you get a pair of cowboy boots, Joe, I'll get some. How's that sound?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Roll, it works.
Hey man, rock and roll.
Rock and roll. That's
Dude,
right.
I love I play drums in cowboy boots every night.
Every night.
Oh, nice.
Well, not this year, but
Yeah.
the last 11 years, yes.
The last 11
Yeah.
years. Yeah. Is
Gonna
that
say, hopefully
super?
soon
Is it?
enough.
Yeah, no doubt. Is it comfortable to play in cowboy boots or no? Because I've worn cowboy boots when I was a kid, but I don't remember
I'm
them being
pretty
that.
sure cowboy boots are supposed to last a long time, but because I wear them every day and then play drums in them every day, I go through cowboy boots. In fact,
are they comfy to play in?
yeah,
I'd imagine they definitely get worn down.
I'm so used to it. I think I'm not.
He
sure
used to play barefoot.
See, yeah, that makes
back in
sense.
the day.
Yeah,
But, man,
a lot of drummers
I
do
feel
that
naked
too.
without cowboy boots. I gotta have them.
He sleeps in them, just his
Yeah.
boxers and cowboy.
Just,
That's rock and roll.
just peeking out at the end of the sheets, eh? Just
Like when you were 4, you got a pair of cowboy boots. You probably never took them off, slept in them.
Yeah, I believe.
Most little boys around here, that's kind of a thing. They just love
Yeah,
to take them
makes
off.
sense. Makes sense.
I've had a pair of cowboy boots over the last, I don't know, six or so years that I've had to have resold like 5 or 6 times.
Well, I think
okay.
Or yeah, maybe even more than that. Because I would
I
go
would
through,
say
they're my
8
favorite
years.
pair, but this COVID year, I had to retire them because the nails were actually finally coming through, no matter if I resold them or not.
Ooh.
2020 took his cowboy boots.
Come on.
Anything else?
Yeah.
I still have another pair as backup that became my main pair.
Oh man, 2020 ruined everything.
Everything.
Most of all, TD's boots, man. Like that's bullshit.
Just add that to the list of shit.
Never
that,
mind.
uh,
Yeah,
2020
never
is
mind
what's
your.
coming at us.
Yeah. Never
Devastating.
mind. No gigs. Eddie Van Halen dies, and your boots are effed. Come on.
Yeah.
What's next? Your move 2020. Like, brutal.
Eddie Van
Who else
Halen.
are they gonna take now?
I thought Eddie was on the other side of his throat cancer. I didn't realize he was still dealing with it.
Yeah, that kind of came out of left field. I must have, I remember hearing that.
Decline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quick. Apparently, within like a couple weeks, they noticed it was starting to spread, and then it was just it just kind of swooped in and took him away. I was just like, cancer's a motherfucker, though, I guess. So.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first bands I ever played in. I don't know, probably 8th grade. Just a garage band of us messing around, reading guitar charts out of Guitar Magazine and things like that. But Jamie's Crying was one of the first songs that I ever played with somebody.
Nice.
But then they give you the tape and like, can you learn the song? And was kind of my introduction to Van Halen, like Eruption. I mean, man. But as a kid, like maybe 3rd grade, I remember MTV moving into like junior high, and then Van Halen's doing Jump. They're doing Panama. I mean, and I love Panama. Hot for Teacher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So many songs that like is your history of your life.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Yeah,
Van Halen inspired so many bands.
Yeah, he was always fun.
Always
He
smiling.
really was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah. That whole 1984 album is just iconic. That whole album is a masterpiece. It starts right off with that din, din, din. Whenever you hear that, it's like, oh, there you go, Van Halen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even realize that. I guess Van Halen was the one that popularized finger tapping. I guess so. Didn't even really know that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that today or yesterday.
Yeah, I think he was saying that he didn't know if he invented it, but
Popularized it.
He like popularized it. Yeah. Like I don't want to say
video.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
when
never
you're watching
reading something.
video, everybody watched MTV, and then you're like, wow, what's he doing? And then the whammy bars and but he, man, what a trailblazer and a genius and things.
You ever I don't know how people do that stuff. You see an icon like that, it's like, I want to know how your brain works that you can just sit there and be like, it's like, how do you come up with that shit?
I try to do it and it just sounds like it doesn't sound anywhere near like that.
No.
We'll say that.
No, not at all.
That made me want to go to drums.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I can't ever do that, so I'll play drums. Thanks.
So then all your 2 limbs or all 4 limbs all at different beats, because that's so easy.
Yeah, I know. That's I can't even wrap my tiny brain around drums and how you guys do it. Like,
I know, and he sings.
Yeah, and you sing at the same, and not just
right?
like, you don't just like half-ass. You don't half-ass sing. Like, you sing, man. Like, you're real good at it. I remember watching that. My first introduction to you guys was that concert you put up on YouTube where it was it in Tennessee? That quarantine, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
the one you just felt. March. Yeah, March. Yeah, and that was so good. That was so good. I couldn't believe that. I was like, okay, so there's only 2 of them. So so TD sings and plays the drums like that. That's not fair.
I know. It's crazy.
Oh man, you guys are too kind.
No, man. Like
our
Joe introduced me, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The first album was all instrumental.
Yeah.
So no vocal parts, and then when I was writing that second album, I was like, yeah, we'll just record it the same way we did our first album and just have the vocal parts as like movie clips, like White Zombie or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris our producer was like,
hell yeah.
No way, dude. We're not recording vocals and you're going to play them on a track. Like, you're going to sing and play. And I was like, I can't sing and I can't sing and play. And he's like, well, you're going to learn and we're not going to record this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Oh, wow.
You record your vocals separate.
Holy ultimatums, Batman.
Yeah. Well, they go into the third album was definitely better because you've been touring for 3 or 4 years singing, and I could almost feel like, man, I want to do better than what we did last time. I wish I could go back and re-record the vocals from the second album because I was more intense after 5 years of,
Right.
to know it back.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
And then going into the third album, I like rehearsed all of those songs for so long, so when we got in the studio, it was like, yeah, this is how I want to sing it live.
Mhm.
And so it made it more genuine, coming right out of the first tour. It was like, oh yeah, I'm singing this every time. But then you do, like, your drum parts get more intense. You're like, man, I should go here in the studio.
Yeah, the more you're yelling, the harder you're hitting the drums, right?
That's right.
That's awesome.
But Veronica's icing on the cake on that album anyway. So
Yeah. I thought so, man. On
Mhm.
Fistful of Grace, you just killed that song, Veronica.
I do
That's
love
so
it.
good. Yeah, that's a good song. You're a good singer, man.
Hey.
Damn good singer.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was gonna say, like, listening to your guys' music the other day, it's like this. Is there officially no guitarist in the band? Is it just like you just play the bass, right, Veronica?
Yeah, I'm just playing bass. Our producer Chris played the electric, for the album, and then
Okay.
we pump that through our computer. So our computer does most of the work in our show.
Okay, cool.
And then we had our buddy Tom Ware play guitar, who's what kind of music is Tom?
I mean, he's a singer-songwriter, but he's like, I don't know, he's so talented. He does, like, when he sings around town, he'll do like John Prine songs or I don't even know. I can't even think of anything. But he's an incredible musician. He played like 7 different instruments on that album. So it's like
fiddle,
dobro,
Wurlitzer, steel,
acoustic.
yeah, maybe like a slide.
I mean, a ton of stuff. And so it's all the acoustic side of.
And so we would like take parts and pieces of him and cut him and paste him all over the place. And I think I let him hear some of the tracks when we had just gotten like the rough mixes in, and he would say, "I played on this." Yeah, I mean, so
that's hilarious.
So Chris did a lot of and a lot of it I had written with loops, like using loops. And so on those parts, we would take Chris and smash it into the loop and keep the friction there with so much, going on. And then we could put Tom anywhere in there too to kind of create more atmosphere. And but yeah, when we play in live, it's just bass, drums, and the vocals are live, and everything else is
awesome.
Yeah.
So,
just makes it a lot easier. The fewer band members, the better.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep it simple. Keep it simple, or at that point, it's like you only have to just deal with you guys. Don't have to deal with anyone else's opinions and all that other. Keeps things basic.
Plus having the film behind us too. I mean, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
At this point in time, it would be hard to imagine having other people like to take away from what's happening in the overall perspective of the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It would be detrimental at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So move over. You're screwing up the shot. You're blocking the screen. Yeah.
Plus, we're the perfect COVID band because we're about
12 years, 12 feet apart on stage anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, true.
And you guys, and you're your own social bubble, so perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Where'd you get COVID from?
Yeah. Where'd you get COVID from? You thought about it. That's how you get it nowadays, I think. You think about it, and then it just manifests itself, right? There you go.
Yeah. Facebook Memories has been so sad this year, though, because we started our album release tour about this time last year, and it was just nonstop for 2 full months. And so to be like looking back at all those memories and doing that, and then here we are.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see we posted yesterday? I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. Our full show. We were 2 drummers and a bass for like 10 years or longer. I can't exactly recall. And Phil was our drummer. He had been with us since he was 17. He was a drum tech for another band that I was in. And then when I started White Collar, we were like, hey, you want to do this thing with us? And so he started traveling with us, from like he was 19 maybe. And then he was 32, I think, when he left, or 34. I can't exactly remember. There's so many yeah. But
3 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, 3 years ago yesterday was his last show with us, and we did a big show in Fort Smith, and there were so many people that came, and we reposted that. And I went back and watched it all, and I was like, wow, we had that show down to an art, man. It was so good.
We had people drive down from like Wisconsin and Ohio.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, many states.
Oh, yeah.
Like 11 or 12 different states.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was an awesome show. It was so fun. And
it got my blood pumping, like, oh my gosh, what are we doing sitting around? Why is nothing opening? Why are venues shutting down?
I don't know if you guys saw that Coachella has announced that they've bumped to next October. So they normally
next October?
They're normally like April or so. And they've already announced they're going to be next October, hopefully.
Oh, okay. So, well, at least there's another year of this. Fuck, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal to think of. It's so brutal to think of.
I know.
The girlfriend, my girlfriend here has just been sweating it too. It's like the last show we went to, like we said, was 9 months ago, and we've just been jonesing for something. We've had Foo Fighters taken away from us, Deftones taken away from us. We're like, it's been a shit year.
I'm thinking, and everybody that was so excited, like to see Rage.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
This would have been the perfect year for Rage.
I know.
Yeah.
Done it anyway.
Maybe Run the Jewels and Rage Against the Machine. There's no better pairing because Run the Jewels are so good too.
Oh yeah,
like they were gonna play Winnipeg, which is like 5 hours from us, and now that that didn't happen, obviously. But
yeah,
I almost bought tickets for that.
Almost. Yeah, I was going to, but it was like the tickets were the only ones that were left were like $500 something bucks. So it's just like we had to make this decision. You're either gonna get Rage Against the Machine tickets, or we can go see Foo Fighters and Deftones for the same price. Yeah. So it's just like we'll just take the other two bands. It's like it sucks.
Deftones is your band, like that's your spirit animal. So you'd have to go see that.
Spirit bonded since '97. But yeah, no, I've seen Deftones. This would have been my third time seeing them. So it wouldn't. But it's like I still would love to see Rage, but I just can't justify paying that much money for one ticket, so especially a nosebleed seat too. You're just like, really? I don't know.
Would have been the perfect year though, TD's right. It would have been the year.
Well, maybe the delay might end up maybe somewhere down the line my mood for that will change. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Do you think now with live music being taken away that people are gonna pay out the ass to go see shows again? This might be a whole untapped market, guys. You guys could charge $50 a pop at your shows.
I don't know.
$100.
It's going to be so hard to get people out of the house. Like they've gotten so comfortable and so used to just being at home and just consuming digital media. Are they going to want to get out of the house?
Yeah, I think it's hard to predict like the music. I mean, especially for our life, when you talk about music business, you are, well, for one, social media is a must anymore. Like there's no way around. There's no argument of going, well, I'm not on this or I'm not on that or I'm not doing this, because there's no choice. That's just what you have to be doing. And for two, when you're booking 3 to 6 months in advance, right?
Yep.
So how you're already booking into the future. So how can you predict what music's going to do 3 to 6 months? You can go ahead and book all you want, but then is it going to be rescheduled? Is it going to be, are you going to work so hard to do all of this and it's all going to disappear? Yeah. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen. Well, even for Coachella, like they're doing it in October, right? But are they? You can only put a plan out there at this point. Nothing's set in stone.
I saw Rocklahoma also. They normally are Memorial Day weekend every year in May, and they bumped to Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah,
Yeah, I guess they're probably just giving that year buffer. It makes sense.
Yeah, to not risk it.
It's a big challenge. I mean, touring is our bread and butter for sure. We've
Mhm.
had to obviously get creative with different kinds of drum videos. You're releasing music. Lucky for us, Bring Out Your Dead, went up the charts a little bit and gave us some momentum that way. And then
Mhm.
and then the Grammy, the Recording
Yes,
Academy. Yeah.
that's
Um,
amazing. Congratulations,
Mhm.
man. That's crazy.
Man, that's
Yeah.
just it's a huge
Oh, wow.
honor.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a huge honor, and it's all because of Veronica. Man, she is, of all of anyone in my life, obviously, she is someone that is for me, and I just cannot thank her enough. She does so much for us musically, the business stuff, just all of it, where I get to have, creative freedom. And she sees all of that other stuff as that's her creativity in a way. And just us as a team, it's so good. And then for her to, go behind my back and apply for these things.
I didn't tell him. So I applied for him to go to the academy. It was in February, I guess. And I didn't tell him because I didn't want him to be bummed if it didn't happen. So I was like,
Fair enough.
I'll just do
Yeah, that's fair.
If he doesn't get it, he'll never know.
Yeah, but tell him what's on the application.
Well, first of all, you have to have 2 recommendations. So we had Chris, obviously our producer, send a recommendation,
Nice.
and we're really good friends with the drummer of the Doobie Brothers. So I'm like,
Nice.
I'm like, hey Ed, can you send a recommendation over? And so we got the recommendations, and then they send you an application. So you can't even automatically get one, but then you essentially have to like tell your entire recording history. And I didn't even realize until I was doing that how much T has recorded, how many places he's well, we both have recorded in Brazil and the U.S., but so many states, studios here in the U.S., and so he has a really deep recording history, and it's the Recording Academy, and so it was cool. I was like, well, if he doesn't get it, like I get it, we're just a tiny little podunk band out of Arkansas, but I feel like he could get this. And then Ed messaged us on the day I guess Ed got an email saying, hey, the guy you recommended got invited to be a member of the.
Nice.
And so he texted both of us, and he is like, what is Ed texting us? And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. And he was like, I got what? And I'm like, you're a member of the Grammy Academy. And I'm like freaking out. He's like, oh my gosh, yeah. What does that mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say. It's still neat, though.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Man,
I was
so
like,
cool.
basically, whenever somebody wins a Grammy and they're like, I'd like to thank the Academy.
That's you.
You're that guy. So he's in
Oh,
the middle of right now.
that's cool. Fucking rad.
This year. Yeah, super
Yeah,
cool. They're due Monday. So
Monday. So I'm voting for Grammys right now.
And I did submit, well, he submitted
Oh, sweet.
Caller as the rock album of the year. I mean, of course, we're not going to get a nomination, but it's like we have for consideration, which is really cool.
So that's what I
You
did.
never know.
I didn't realize that's how people get into you have to be a part of the Academy, and then you're submitting your music that way. And so, yeah, it's cool to be like, wow, we actually submitted White Collar for
the Grammys.
Grammy Award. But yeah, I mean,
Man.
And
What if you win? What if you win?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
We wanted to be miraculous.
It would be. Especially
It
with
wouldn't be rich.
But there's so many huge bands in there,
Yeah, I had no idea all those people put albums out this year.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's so many. It's not just the 4 people that you see on the.
Yeah.
That's the end of voting, and this was just the first pass. So there's
over 200.
Yeah, over 200 people.
Oh, then they whittle it down to
narrowed down.
Okay.
There'll be another pass and another pass and another pass.
Yeah, I don't know how many rounds there are, but this is round 1.
I never realized that either. So
it's cool to be on this side of it though, and then they do so much more than just the Grammy Awards. They're huge in advocacy and legislation and promoting citizens' rights and trying to back creators and.
Yeah, I was on
the.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say they do. Well, normally they do mixers, so like if you're part of the Texas Grammy chapter or whatever, they'll have a mixer and all the Grammy people just go and hang out and have cocktails. They've been doing them all on Zoom, which, I mean, it's like 65 people or something. So
just screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's hard to.
And you can
connect.
take like different courses and classes with different artists on different things, which is
seminar, yeah.
And then they give you the opportunities to, for instance, this year, talking to different congressmen about valuing and protecting artists, the legislation, and so that was an interesting world.
You did that with you did that. I remember seeing that.
Our local guy.
Yeah, it was talking about different legislation to value and protect artists and sharing your story, to these guys and showing them like touring is our bread and butter. We're not able to tour, so how do we make a living? But if we're not able to make a living, how do we pay the recording studios? And if we're not able to pay recording studios, how are we competitive and have the quality that it takes to put something out in the music ocean that's comparable to everything else that's out there? And then on top of that, venues are shutting down, festivals are shutting down. So what about the vendors at the festivals, the groundskeepers at the festivals, the volunteers, the artists, all these people that are losing their jobs?
It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected. If the artist, if you can't do your part, no one else can do theirs, and it all.
The custodian doesn't have a job. There's so much maintenance doesn't have jobs. Like there's so much that had fallen off that kind of food chain. So it's explaining that food chain to Congress and saying, look, if we don't pass some of these things, we're already feeling like the cockroaches of the workforce.
Well, exactly.
We were the first, even the last to enter back in.
Well, we were all, musicians were the first ones to shut down, and you'll be the last ones to get back.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
That's true.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
I just have no idea what it's going to look like. Our favorite venue here in town, actually, that we did our album release show last year, has shut down because of all of it. Like so many venues are just like, they were essentially hand to mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like it's so hard to survive as a venue in 2019, much less 2020. And so many venues are just closing doors. And another thing that a lot of people I don't think have really thought about, we live at Walmart parking lots. We really do. We stay at, most of the time, we stay at a Walmart parking lot. Well, now with COVID, most of the Walmarts are closing at 10 p.m. And so, like, we can't roll in at 2 to the bathroom and grab a bite to eat or anything because they're shut down. So, like, our place to stay is not available. So, I mean, so many things are affected. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what touring's going to look like.
It's hard to guess. You can't really guess. Yeah. And you can't really, like, for us, should we be booking for, March, April, May right now? But the hard part is going, where are we booking? Our venue's going to be open.
Are people going to go?
Are we going to promote this stuff and then it just fall apart,
Well, it's just like you said earlier, Veronica, are people actually going to get out there? If they do Coachella in next October, are people going to show up? Because like you said, they're so used to just, I want to watch a concert. Well, YouTube's here, so there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like people will go for large artists. I do. I feel like people would go out for large artists if it started coming back. I feel like it's probably bands that are around what our level is, and even on a smaller level than that are gonna struggle.
Yeah.
Like who's going to
for sure.
Going to clubs? Who's going? I feel like those big ticket artists that you're hearing on the radio constantly,
they'll be fine, right?
There's survival in that, and they're already still probably making royalties.
Yeah,
that's just it.
And I like to think, I don't know, I kind of like to think that there's still enough hardcore music fans out there, like, at least for me, the second I'm available to, or even allowed to even go to a show, like, that I would not even skip a heart and take the gamble. At this point, I'm fucking desperate.
Our buddy Gary that we live with, he is a true music fan. I wish everybody was as much of a music fan for whatever their genre is. But like he is just a fan, and he will always buy physical albums. He will always buy all the merch, and he's just always going to shows. Just such a fan, and so I know he's got to be fiending.
Yeah, I mean, the other way I know new music because we're on the road so much. You know, you don't keep up, and when we come back home, he's like, "Hey, I got you a ticket for this," or "Let's go to this show," or "Have you heard this band?" And looking up stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm lost in all of. There's so much out there, and but it keeps me sharp.
Well, like 45,000 songs a day are uploaded to Spotify. There's a lot of music out there.
I mean, think about that. Think about that ocean. You're trying to throw a bobber and a minnow in, and trying to reel someone into what you do.
Yeah, but it's. I talk about that too, is chasing that Spotify money, dude. Like, there's nothing. There's no point. There's no point trying to go after Spotify, not for what you get.
I think
at least
free advertising.
Yeah.
Advertising. Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, I get that. But I guess if you're looking for a huge payout, like 15,000 streams is like $30, guys. You sell that on one of your vinyls, you're good.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Or whatever. Like, focus like you guys do it, right? Because you got your awesome merch store, which is fantastic. I pilfered that. I'm gonna be back for a vinyl at some point. And like
we appreciate
that. And Bandcamp is the best bet for everybody. They take like $3. They take $3 off a digital album. So if you sell it for $20, you're pocketing 17. That's still like more than 50,000 streams on Spotify. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna. It makes me feel bad for using Spotify because it's convenient, but it just sucks because it's like it doesn't do you guys any favors, So it's kind of a shame. So
yeah, I mean, it does favors in the sense of, sort of cut you off there. It does favors in the sense of, like you said, like promotion and everything like that. Yeah. So I guess the theory is, hopefully if people like it enough, they'll buy it. At least that's what I do. If I like it enough, I'll still go buy the film. Sure.
What was did the math on our album? What was it for Spotify if you listen to the whole album?
Listen to our entire album, we get
less than 5 cents.
Less than a nickel that we then curtain call. And then, like songwriters, band members, so like any band, like even if it's like 5 dudes in a band, you listen to their whole album, it's less than a nickel, and then the label gets a cut, and the manager gets a cut, and everybody in the, know.
And that's the whole album. That's not just a couple songs. That's like an entire.
Versus you buy our album for $10, we paid, $3 to make it, so we're making $7.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. People got to buy. People gotta get back to buying shit. I don't know. I'm a big physical media guy. Like I had a huge CD collection for years.
Likewise.
And years.
Same here.
And now vinyls, but damn it. There's so many to support and so little money to go around to support, right? But fuck.
It's just no doubt. Just figuring out how to keep living it, breathing it, and surviving. And I mean, and that's what art is. That's the stories that you write about, and that's where your heart and your soul is. And those are the things you're putting out to try to challenge people's thinking or inspire people to keep dreaming big and encourage each other to not see 2020 as this dark black hole, but be optimistic for change and things that maybe there's something good about new form of normal that we have never like.
Well, do you think if you guys were touring and everything that you would have had time to apply to be a part of the academy? Probably not. That's a positive.
Yeah. I think the only
good point.
The only thing about touring that when we had the song on Billboard, it would have been great to promote.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yes.
But and then obviously when you're touring, you're able to sell merch. Like there's that. But you're right. Like there's been a lot of things that have happened this year that I feel like if we were on the road, I don't want to say we may have missed out on.
Right.
You're working 3 shifts when you're on the road. Like we don't have a crew. It's the 2 of us, and it's literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you're eating dinner at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. You're right. I get it. Like it has challenged us to be creative in different areas, to see almost like, I don't want to say social media as a crutch, which I used to say that, but to see very much how we need to be still persistent in that. Now, how does that happen when you are on the road working 3 shifts? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Truth.
I don't know.
But we have had to fall back into that. And I don't know, man. I get it though. I get it. Like, I think for us, because we do live in our vehicle and we are able to, our overhead is low. I'm not paying for children or cars or houses or, those kinds of things. So
Or a bougie wife.
yeah, that's right. I feel like for us, we're fortunate that we went all in the very beginning of
That's right.
if this is what we're going to do, this is what it takes to be able to survive. And then we do have a lot of people in our life. We're a nonprofit, so that donate to us, and that has been exceptional through 2020, where that could have fallen off, and instead has really helped us keep surviving. So, thank you to all the people in our life doing that, because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. I mean, It's not just the 2 of us. There are so many people on our team.
Yeah.
Even with Curtain Call, Joe, now that you're with Curtain Call, even with Curtain Call. But
good people, man.
Yeah,
they are.
We actually finally got to meet John and Gigi face
I
to face.
saw that. That was cool. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
it was a good hang. They have a cool place.
Yeah, they do. I think through COVID too, even getting to meet you, Joe, and Kevin now.
Yeah.
We've had so many interviews and podcasts and things that we might not have been able, or would have made our schedule super busy, that we've been able to really focus on and, be intentional with. I feel like that's
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Must have positive for me. I wouldn't have got to meet you guys without that. So
without the
I would never heard you. What's that?
Without the quarantine show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I don't even. It was Angela. Angela from Curtain Call emailed me your stuff, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like these guys are sick." I wouldn't have had a music podcast if it wasn't for all this crap. So that was positive, and now like we're killing it here on this thing. So we're all doing something.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I'm kind of bummed I didn't jump into the podcast earlier during the pandemic. It would have drove me a little less crazy, I think. That's for sure. I started in what was it, Joe? Like late August, early August?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So still getting my feet wet in this whole thing. So
his first interview was Christian Machado from El Nino.
Wow, come on.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking right off the bat.
I was like, hey, I know you like El Nino, Kevin. Yeah, just be my co-host and talk to Christian. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, just fine.
I'm like, just thrown to the wolves, and I'm like, just like talking to this guy. I grew up fucking like idolizing these guys. I grew dreadlocks because of these guys.
Oh my goodness! Did you tell him that?
No, actually, you know what? Something to talk about the next time around, though.
Yeah.
I didn't. Just reminded me of that. I was just like, I never seen them. Like, I'm gonna grow dreadlocks someday. Fast forward 4 years later. Now I obviously have no hair, but I got to do it before it actually went away. So it was lucky to say the least.
Man, that place is ready for a tattoo up top.
Hey,
yeah, true.
He'll get a smaller version of you riding Tusk.
We'll see. Like, I'll leave everything open. I'm always willing to do something. I've always been too nervous to try and get like a tattoo on the top of the head. How about if you do it, Joe? I'll do it.
Oh, I got a big head, but I'm going back, Pierce. I'm going big, baby. That's it.
Yeah, good call.
You do that, I'll go back.
I don't have guts. I don't think.
We just the other day. We were doing a Zoom in a group, and one of our friends is super bald, and so we looked up like tattooing hair. So have you ever Googled like tattoo hair?
It's a thing.
It's amazing.
I've heard about this. I know people do it with their eyebrows lately. I know a couple of people that have done that.
It looks like a 5 o'clock shadow.
It looks amazing.
Just like you got a little stubble, but it's
so Google
hair.
it.
Yeah,
Google tattooed.
Google tattooed
Google
hair.
tattooed hair. It's
That sounds
Oh.
great.
The pictures that
I'll have to Google it right after, definitely.
I will Google
looks like
that.
real hair. It's amazing.
That's so crazy, man. I don't know. I started
Yeah,
going
it's
bald when I was
crazy.
like 20, so I just shaved it off and said, screw it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I looked
Yeah.
better bald than that.
I could tell when I chopped the dreadlocks off. Like right after I took the dreads off, I could see like right in the back. I'm like, oh, I ain't got much time left in this. And it was like 4 years later, it was pretty much gone. It's gone like the wind.
God, like the wind.
Dad
You
had
don't
a-
really learn to appreciate your hair until it's gone. Cherish
Yeah.
your hair, my good sir.
Yeah. You're still, look at that. You're great.
I mean,
Dad.
she shaves my mohawk for me, so
That's great. See, you're good to go, man.
smells a little bit.
Nice.
We have a shower, but we don't always use it.
I'm 45, so I'm thinking that it's here to stay.
It's good. It's there to stay. Yeah, totally.
Veronica's got a full head of hair.
Yeah. No signs of early.
Yeah, no signs of.
I might have a receding hairline. I don't know. I want that just that one gray patch. My
Yeah.
gray is growing in the back, but I wish I could have that one cool gray patch right on the top, like Cruella DeVille, or.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
it's not really happening.
Or Rogue from X-Men. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good shout out to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wish I preferred my hair to have gone gray than bald. So
Still pull gray hairs out of my beard, so we'll see.
Oh, come on. I'm getting gray, you guys.
Yeah, but you got the Clooney thing. You got the salt pepper hats, and you're good to go. See, that's fine.
Hey, baby.
That's good.
Gray is metal.
It's like steel.
That's
The
right.
color of
Yeah,
steel.
right.
There you
Chrome.
go. Polished chrome.
Arkansas chrome.
Arkansas chrome.
Arkansas.
That's what we call duct tape, is Arkansas chrome.
That's awesome. Well, folks, it was a pleasure catching up with you guys again. I realized I screwed up your whole fire time you're gonna have, and I apologize to you for that.
It's good. It's good to see your faces.
Yeah, man. It's great to see you. I'm looking for this again.
Likewise.
We'll do it again. This is our third time. We'll go for 4, and we'll go for whatever.
Awesome.
A couple months, we'll get you back.
Cool.
Love it. Love it.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
You take care.
100%. I'm 100% game.
Nice to meet
Take care, guys. Yeah, nice to meet you too, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
Joe, good to see you, man.
It was good to see you guys. You guys take care.
Cheers,
Roll
Joe.
Tide.
Watch
Go
it.
Hogs.
Watch it. Blue pigs do it.